Hey everyone, thanks for watching another Less Action More Figures video. My name is Kevin Wild and I'm back to you today with another video review of a Dragon Ball Z Banpresto figure. Today I got a pretty cool figure for you and I'm going to walk you through some of the things I like, some of the things I don't like, and tell you whether I think you should buy it or not. So today I'm going to be reviewing this Super Saiyan Goku Chosenshi Retsuden. Probably kind of butchered that, but I did my best. Figure. I picked this one up at EB Games GameStop for about $30 Canadian, so $20 US sort of thing. This is the box. You know, as I say every time, I've already opened it up because I love figures and I want to open up as soon as I get them. So there's no unboxing here for you. So if you're looking for unboxing, look elsewhere. But I'm going to be talking you through this figure, as I mentioned, telling you what I like about it, showing you the flesh, critiquing a little bit, and saying who the right person it is, or who should buy it. I should say. Sorry, hard time speaking tonight. Go figure. So, you know, without any further delay, I think we should just jump into this figure and tell you what I think. Let's get going. Alright, this is the Super Saiyan Goku figure that I'm going to be reviewing today. As you can see, it's quite a cool pose. Obviously he's warming up for a Kamehameha, so pretty much his signature move, so it's pretty sick. I bought it mostly because I wanted to add a Super Saiyan Goku to my collection, and this is one that I found at a reasonable price from EB Games. Overall, you know, the positive of this figure, I really like the quality. It's thick, it's sturdy. I like the fact that it doesn't feel hollow. The shading is also well done. On the pants, you can see here, there's a lot of definition. It's really quite cool. There's kind of a weird couple dark spots that I'm not a huge fan of, but I think overall it looks quite nice. There's definition on the arms, a little bit of shading, not a ton, but you know, enough that I like it. You know, it's better than some of the figures where they just kind of leave it completely white. In terms of the face, I will focus here so you can see the face. So, cool facial, look, animation, you know, whatever you want to say. It looks quite nice. The hair is a little bit of the. I'm gonna see if I can give you kind of a good look. It's kind of hard to give it to you because it's, you know, a very bright yellow. It's almost like, you know, kind of a light gold, but it is kind of a little bit of metallic. I don't know if you can kind of get that from the camera, but a little metallic. So I like that. I'm a big fan of the metallic hair color on these figures. I know sometimes they just do a solid color, but overall I think metallic is awesome. Go for it. You know, overall the figure, like I said, it's pretty good, but good quality overall, but there are some downsides. One downside is it's quite small, so it's certainly not the biggest figure. You know, I'll actually give it a quick measure here so you can get an idea, but it's not focusing, but you know, 6.5 inches. 6.5 inches is what it measures in at. So not obviously the biggest figure, and you know, I found quite a few that are bigger at the same price, so that's kind of a knock. The other thing is, you know, the base is obviously quite wide, as you can see here. So you know, because he's doing this pose, you know, his legs spread, it's quite a big stand, which, you know, I've mentioned this in other video reviews, but the reason why I'm not a fan of huge stands is because it makes them kind of difficult to stack next to each other. But I guess this is certainly not the worst offender. I mean, I've seen some pretty bad ones. The main knock I have against this figure, and again, you know, overall I think it's a pretty solid figure that I would recommend to most people, is the pose. And you know, you can kind of see this, how I'm having a hard time getting a good shot. Unless you put a lot of light on it, it's hard to see his face, as you can see from here, and I think this is a good representation of how it would look on a shelf if you look at eye level. His hands cause a lot of shadows, right? And obviously that's just the way light works with shadows, but it just, you know, for me, when I put it on my shelf and I looked at it, I was like, man, I wish there was some way his arms were, you know, different. And again, that's being unrealistic because it is the pose that he should be making when he's making the Kamehameha, but just in terms of the figure, his face is a little bit shaded. So when I put it on my shelf, I was a little disappointed. I wasn't a huge fan of how he looked. So, you know, take that as you will. But overall, I think it's a solid figure. Again, I would recommend it to most people. If you're looking at buying it, I would just kind of keep in mind the pose. Now, again, when it comes to pose, you know, when you look face on, it's probably the best way to look at him. A little bit sideways is okay too. Over here is also a cool pose. If you're putting him on a lower shelf, it can look kind of weird because obviously you can only see his head. So this is something I'd recommend to be on a higher shelf. If you're looking to put something on a bottom shelf, probably, you know, avoid this little guy here. Again, you know, if you compare him with a small figure like the Vegito I have in the background, or Vegeta, got Vegeta on the brain. Vegeta on the figure I have in the background. They're a good size comparison. So again, this goes back to one of the tips I talked about in one of my videos. Make sure when you're buying figures that you intend to put side by side, that you do some measurements and make sure they, relate and they're the right ratio. Otherwise, it'll look weird if you have a massive Vegeta and a very small Goku. I will show you the box here, as I showed you a little bit earlier. But this is him standing next to the box. Now, again, overall, I think I would recommend you purchase them if you're interested in a Super Saiyan Goku. But keep in mind, facial pose, size, and a little bit of big on the big base. So that's it for this video review. If you have any questions, feel free to post in the comments below, and I'll answer any questions you have about this figure. Thanks again for watching, and subscribe if you have a second. Thank you.